Welcome back everyone, it is Eric from Arcane, and today I am stoked because we finally have our first information and card images as well of the new Scarlet and Violet cards that are coming out early next year. And you know, this is kind of a tradition at this point every year at Worlds. We usually get some sort of new info about new cards coming out. You know, we had GX's revealed their tag teams, Pokemon V. So kind of fitting they are revealing the new like big ultra rare mechanic for the Scarlet and Violet era of the TCG. And I've got to say, they did not disappoint me. I was actually kind of expecting to see more big dumb basics for this new era of the game, but they threw me a curveball here. We have the glorious return of Pokemon EX into the game. No, not this trash. These Pokemon EX. So we're going back to the old like Ruby Sapphire era of the game when we actually had Pokemon EX that evolved. So that means not only do we have basic Pokemon EX that you would imagine, but we also have stage 1s and stage 2s as well, which I think is really great, guys, because we've really been lacking good evolution support for the longest time now. And I think this is just such a great step in the right direction, at least based off the information that we've seen thus far. So let's go ahead and dig into you know, what some of these new cards do. But before we do, remember to leave a like on the video to show your support. Would greatly appreciate it. It's going to help feed that arch nemesis of mine, the dreaded YouTube algorithm. Let's check out what these cards do. So as you can see, there's actually a good amount of information on these cards missing, and I'll circle back around to that in just a second. But that is kind of a normal thing for some of these early card reveals that we've seen before at the World Championships. But let's take a look at the information they do provide us. So of course, these do give up 2 prizes whenever they get knocked out. But the Koraidon here has the Dino Cry ability. It says once during your turn, you may attach up to 2 basic blank energy cards from your discard pile to your basic blank Pokemon in any way that you like. If you use this ability, your turn ends. And then its attack, they don't display the attack cost. More than likely, it's going to tie into these energies that aren't being revealed yet. It does 220, and during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. So very similar energy here to Zacian V, definitely that same sort of vibe. And then for the Miraidon EX, its ability says once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 basic fill in the blank Pokemon and put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. And then its attack for, again, an undisclosed amount of energy does 220, and this Pokemon can't attack. So both these abilities are pretty cool. I actually definitely like the Miraidon a little bit more though. The big issue with the Koraidon is that it ends your turn, which is fair. That I think that is definitely a fair, you know, attribute to this ability. But you do need ways of getting the energies into discard pile turn 1, which sometimes can be a bit of an issue. But the Miraidon, you can do this every single turn of the game, which means you can like keep chaining your basics and pretty much ensure that you can always keep getting set up. So this is a great consistency boosting ability that we have here. And again, the attack is fine as well. But let's speculate a little bit because again, they are sort of hiding some of this information and there's potentially a couple different reasons for that. So there's the obvious one, which is that the types for Koraidon and Miraidon haven't officially been revealed just yet. So they might be waiting until the official reveal to show what types they are. There are some leaks out there that are speculating on their types or alleging their types. But again, until the Pokemon Company wants to officially reveal these, they might just be leaving the card templates blank like this. But if we want to get a little bit juicier, there could be some alternative reasons for this. So these Pokemon are speculated to be dragon types or part dragon type in the video games. So we could even see a rework of the whole dragon type into the TCG. Like we might actually finally see dragons get their own types of basic energy, which would be pretty cool because the Koraidon does specify basic fill in the blank energy here. So that's one direction this could take. But also we do know that we have the whole like, God, I'm going to butcher the name of it, like the Terrestrial sort of mechanic in the game where the Pokemon can turn into like these like crystal forms. And maybe the types here could tie into that in some way. Like maybe we have some sort of like, for lack of a better term, like a crystal type that allows this unique type of Pokemon to change types with some sort of mechanic. So that's also a possibility. I'm definitely curious what you guys are thinking about that in regards to the types of these Pokemon. But another thing you might notice here is that the stage is also missing from these cards. So it does not say basic, stage 1, or stage 2. And I think there's actually a kind of a sneaky reason for that. I don't believe these Pokemon are actually basics. And part of the reason for that is actually in the recent trailer that we saw at the World Championship for the Scarlet and Violet video games. We saw the reveal of a new Pokemon here called Cyclizar, which obviously has to be some sort of pre-evolution. Now, whether this is a basic or stage 1 pre-evolution, we don't yet know. It is kind of like a bigger Pokemon, so I could see this being a stage 1, but also this is like a legendary evolution line. So I can also see a world where the basic is kind of like a bigger, more intimidating Pokemon to start with. And one thing you'll notice also is the type on this thing. It is normal, but also dragon, which again could lend credence to the idea that they are reworking the dragon type for the TCG. But in addition to our legendaries here, we did see a couple of other cards get hinted at, though there are still some details that are a little bit fuzzy here. But we did see the reveal of a Mimikyu EX, Lucario EX, and a Magnezone EX. So we don't really have like the full reveals for these cards, though Magnezone is probably the card that is the most clear here. We can read this one. Its first attack for lightning energy does 50 for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon, and then its other attack for 2 lightning does 220, and this Pokemon does 30 to itself. So this guy's gonna make quick work of those Palkia V-Star decks, but I don't really want to go over too much about how good these cards are, because it is really hard to say since we don't really know the whole scope of this new block of the TCG. Like, we don't really know what the power level is going to be to know if these are good. Lucario is a little bit concealed here, but we can tell the HP of Mimikyu and Lucario here. Mimikyu is going to have 190 HP, which is kind of in line for what we expect even from basic Pokemon V. But Lucario has 260 HP, which again is kind of in line from what we expect from Pokemon V-Star. That's kind of right in that same ballpark. So I think it's safe to assume the Magnezone, being a stage 2, is probably going to be near like Pokemon V Max in terms of HP. So I think our HPs are largely going to remain kind of similar to what they are now, which I think is good. I don't want to see a lot of power creep in the game anyways. But yeah, still interesting to note the direction they're taking here. So there are a couple of other details that we can point out here. One thing that PokeGuardian here, the site, noticed is that they actually revealed 2 different EX logos. And what I mean by that here is we have the sort of normal version of the EX logo, and then we also have this big like crystal one they showed at the end of the trailer at Worlds. Maybe this was just like a big way to end the trailer, like a big dramatic take on the logo to kind of hint at the like Terra Straw Pokemon that are going to be coming out as well. Or we could have 2 different types of Pokemon EX in theory. So maybe our normal run-of-the-mill Pokemon EX are going to be, the ones with this logo. And maybe the ones with this logo, like the new legendaries, might be the like Terra Straw, compatible Pokemon EX that we have. Again, at this point, guys, it's anyone's best guess. We don't really know for sure. We're going to have to wait and find out more, but definitely fun to speculate. Very curious to see what direction they're going to take to incorporate these like crystal looking Pokemon into the game. Only other thing that I picked up on was during the trailer at Worlds, they did say they wanted to mark like a return back to big comeback mechanics in the TCG. They didn't really expand on what that's going to mean, but I can imagine that might even involve these new Terra Straw forms, because if we think to the video games, whether it's Megas, Dynamax Pokemon, or these new like Terra Straw forms, these are ways to quickly like shift the tempo of a battle. And we might see something similar for the TCG, but again, kind of hard to say at this point. But like I said, guys, I'm pumped. I think this is amazing news. I am very pleasantly surprised about this direction they are taking for the return of Pokemon EX, which is so great to see. But I'm definitely curious what you guys are thinking about this reveal. Is this the direction you wanted the Ultra Rares to take going forward? Or did you like the big chunky 3-prize basic and basic adjacent Pokemon that we've seen for the past several years at this point? So definitely let me know your full thoughts down below in the comment section today. But as always, if you did enjoy today's video, remember to leave a like. And if you're feeling a little bit extra generous and want to take that support to the next level, you can also become a patron at patreon.com/rarecandytcg, or you can pick up some merch at rarecandytcg.com. Links to everything will be down below in the description. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.